Yes. So whenever you are opening this software, then you can find out here the interface look like this. Yes, this is for 21 days trial. So first of all, user can get here like a setup assistant, take a tour, see sample file option. So basically what you will get in this area. So here in the setup assistant, you are able to get and create basically the custom project and see the overview of your project. Then if you're going in the take a tour option, so in the take a tour option, you will get about the Homer Pro interface. Then in the C sample files, basically you will get the different kinds of examples which are existing in the software. So you will get about them. And if you know these things, so you can continue to Homer Pro. Now this is the main interface of the software, and in the top of your screen, you can find out there are various tabs like file, load, components, resources, project, and help. Help tab is very useful in this section because in this help icon, you can find out here about your software details. So suppose if you have trouble any kind of information like in the resources area, if you have any kinds of doubts of particular things like GHI, DNI, so you can put keyword in this help. After clicking over this help icon, you will get this kind of a PDF file or a manual, you can say. You can type your keyword and press enter. Pressing enter, the keyword which are related to the hydrogen, because it's mentioned here hydrogen, we have tapped earlier. Only the things which are related to the hydrogen that will appear in entire section. Okay, so you can find out that thing. So this is very useful for every user, basically for the beginners. And one more thing, to run this software, you must need to internet connectivity because without internet connectivity, you are not able to run this software. Why? Because this is cloud-based license, basically Homer provide. Earlier they provide the perpetual license, but now they provide only the cloud-based license. So you must require to connect with the internet. Below this file tab, you can see here like tabs home, design, result, and library. And we will come here over each and every section one by one. Then in the load section, there are different types of loads options like electrical, thermal, and hydrogen load. Similarly, you can come here in this components area. So the components like controller, generator, PV, wind turbine, storage, converter, custom boiler, hydro reformer, electrolyzer, hydrogen tank, hydrokinetic grid, thermal load controller. So these are the components you can find out in this component area. Similarly, in the resources area, there are the different types of resources like solar GHI, solar DNI, wind, temperature, fuel, and many more other resources as well. And it depends over the user which kind of resources they are going to use. So accordingly, they can choose their component or other way you can say which kind of component basically user is going to use. Accordingly, they can use their resources. We come here in the project area. So there are some another more tools which comes under this project area, like economics, constraint, emission, optimization, search space, sensitivity, multi-year input reports, estimate, and clear vision. So these are some tools comes under this project area which you can also use as per your choice and as per your requirement. Now in the left hand side, you can see here the schematic area. So here you can find out take a tour and setup assistant. So till now, if you are not explore this software, basically what is the overview and how you can create custom project. So again, you can go through this way and you can create your custom project and you can also see the overview of the software. Now come here in this required changes. So this is very useful thing for those persons who have not used this software earlier. And if they do not know even ABC of this software, so they can follow these steps which are mentioned in this required changes and they can further build their project on it. For your understanding, you can see here in the required changes, there are the add a load, add a power source. So the things which are mentioned through the red color, it is mandatory to follow. A part of them, other colors which are indicating and the parameter, you can avoid them, but these are the mandatory things. If you are not going to use these things, so you are not going to execute any functions or you are not to calculate any functions, So that kind of things happen if you're not going to use this mandatory data. Now come here in this data section or bigger, like in the design page. So first of all, user need to define here the name of their project, author details and description about this project. Then user can provide the discount rate. By default, this is 8%. Inflation rate, this is 2%. Annual capacity shortage, this is 0%. Project lifetime is 25 years. In this right-hand side of this data, you can see the variable editor. So after clicking over this variable editor, you can find out a table where you can mention more than one value. Okay, so you can add here multiple value and you can analyze over the particular value over your network. And at the same time, you can not only enter for this discount rate, even you can enter for all these entire variables which are mentioned here. Parallelly, you can design multiple projects at the same time. Why I am saying multiple projects? Because right now this is 25 years project, it is mentioned here. But for example, if you are getting any kind of project or if you are going to develop any project for particular region or area, so in that context, what do you need to do here? What do you need to do here? So basically, you can generate one more project at the parallel time. So suppose I'm going to design a 25 years project again. At the same time, I would like to design a 30-year project. So I'm not going to design another project or new created project. Okay. At the same time, we are going to design two projects with the same data. So you can create multiple projects at the same time. So if you want to enter like another more value, so you can enter here, and you can see what is the basically differences comes after basically the cost happen of after 25 years. Whenever we are moving our next project for 30 years, if we are extending our project for next 5 more years, so what will be the cost happen for our project? So that will be appear in front of you. And one more thing which I must need to clear to you. If you are going to use Homer Pro software, so the main agenda of the software to reduce the cost of your project. Okay, and how it can be possible? So it is possible in different way. First of all, which kind of component you are going to use, what is the cost of your component, and the main and one more very very good thing with software. This software helps the user to eliminate those components which are not reliable for your specific area, for your specific location, and for your environment. So in that context, this software help you to eliminate all those components which are not reliable. Even you will get all kinds of information, like if you are adding any kind of module and you are going to design, suppose if you are adding A1, A, B, C, D, E, F, like 5 to 6 module in your microgrid, and you are going to calculate. So this software provide you all kind of possibilities which are possible for your particular location, a particular load, and particular area. But it will give you the suggestions, so you can use those kind of architecture or module which are less costly. Okay, so let me move here again. So in the right hand section of the design page, you can see here the web app here. So basically, user can provide their location. So if you want to provide your or design your module in the Delhi region, so you can type your location. So suppose if right now I'm in Delhi, so I'm just typing here the location Delhi and click here search location. So in this Delhi area or Delhi area, you can see what the location it is by default selecting here. But if you want to change this position from here, so if you have the coordinates, so you can mention the coordinates in this area and further you can proceed. This view you can see through the different sections like aerial view, physical view, shaded relief view. So these are various options which you can see from this section, and even you can zoom it. So there are different options like neighborhood, city, region, state, world. So you can zoom it directly as well and see the area as well in the particular coordinates. Okay. So for this area, we must need to download the resources. So you can see here the resources. Click over the resource. After clicking here, you can find out the resource for the solar, for wind and temperature. And basically, this software was developed by the National Renewable Energy Laboratory. So they also provide the data in the solar area. Otherwise, you can further proceed or you can select any data from NASA as well. Both of them are the trusted websites, so it's not big deal. So let me select the solar only from this place. And I'm not going to select wind and temperature right now. Okay. So, and click over the download. So it has been successfully downloaded. And one more thing, in the right hand top corner, you can see the calculate key, which are not activated yet. And it will activate once we are going to add our microgrid in this area. So let me come in this load tab. Otherwise, I'm not going to from here. I'm just going from this required changes area. So you will understand how you can use this thing. So in this required changes area, you can see, first of all, we must need to add a load. So over the load. After clicking over add a load, user can find out in this design page area, there are four options, basically for the peak month or January and July or none. So what is the basically the peak month? This peak month basically describe in which month you are going to consume more electricity. Okay. So you can define the peak month from here. Suppose if I'm selecting January, so you can select January, you can select July. So let me suppose I'm selecting only January here. Then if you're coming in the profile option, so there are different types of profile, and after drop down menu, you can find out the profiles like residential, commercial, industrial, and community. Even also you can find the blank profile. So if you are going through the blank profile, so you must need to feed the data. Okay. So I'm going through the residential profile. Press OK. Each profile contains some data accordingly. This data basically, earlier this was not available in the software, but after the feedback of our customers, NREL or Homer team, they added other data. Now this software comes under the EVEL solution, not under the Homer Energy. So let me come on again in the topic. So this data is basically for those person who have no any kind of data, and finally, basically for the student point of view, and for also can consider those person who are going to use first time over this software, and if they are going to lag with the data, so first of all they are going to memorize because they have no data, so how they can use. So this will help the user to basically understand the things and first of all create first step and then further proceed for the next third step. So so this kind of things build confidence within the customer, within the student, within the faculty member, or any other person who are going to use this software. Once you have understand what is the which kind of data basically we require, so then after you can the things will be developed under the student, and they can also create their own data if they have own data, so they can put the data as well and they can further proceed. So in this load profile, you can see year of model is 2007, but this is only for the view purpose. Even you can select any other things. So there are little bit change you can find out in this area, but which you can analyze. There are some changes happen in this yearly profile, seasonal profile, and in the daily profile as well. So suppose this is 2026, so let me select 26. So minute difference minute changes occur in this yearly profile. So maybe if you are absorbing clauses, so that will be appear. Otherwise, it will not much visible after a single click. Okay. In this daily profile, you can see here the January profile basically initially we have. And in the January month, we have data for 24 hours from 0 to 23. And onto the hourly basis, what is the load happen? So this is the load at night 12 o'clock, at 1 o'clock, and similarly till 23 or 11 o'clock. Okay. So if we are going to do any kind of modification in this data, so that will be appear in entire section of this profiles. Suppose if we are going to edit the data nearby 8 o'clock evening. So right now at 7 p.m. it is 1.20. Let me make it 0. Suppose I'm just making it 0. 9112. So after just pressing enter, you can observe here, there are some minute change comes under this daily profile. It is visible in first instance because this bar diagram will be changed. Even seasonal profile will be also visible, but and yearly profile will be also visible. But if you're not observing closely, so it may not visible to you. So let me just press enter and you can observe. Okay. There are some minute changes that occur in this yearly profile because this is yearly data. So very basic, very minor changes come. So maybe it was not absorbed by the user initially first time. But you can see the visibility over this diagram. Okay. And whenever you are moving your cursor over the seasonal profile, so you can find here the data like maximum load, minimum load, average load of the yearly, of the monthly data. For each month, what is the maximum and minimum load? Everything you can find out in this area. Okay. In this yearly profile, whenever you are moving the cursor over this graphic section, so at what day, at what time, and in which year, in which month, at particular date, what is the data and what is the load of the particular microgrid happen. So that is visible in front of you, and the maximum load is 2.5 kilowatt, which you can see through this color defined here from 0 to 2.5 over this scale. Now, in this required changes, you can see we required a power source. Okay. So if we required any kind of power or electricity, so we must need to a source which can generate power. Then only we can transfer to anybody, or we can share or distribute the power with our any other things with our components or another home appliances as well. So we need to add a power source. Or here, we can come here in this component section, and you can directly go through this add power source. Let me show what happened if I'm going to click over this. So when I'm clicking over this add a power source, so it is automatically connected through the generator, and by default it is connecting or carrying the only generator. But if you are coming in this component area, so you have flexibility to use any kind of power source like a generator, like PV, like wind turbine, like battery, or any other power source which you want to add in your microgrid. So I'm okay with that. The generator okay. So whenever we are going to click over this drop-down menu of this auto site generator, so you can see the types of generator: generic 10 kilowatt capacity fixed capacity genset, generic 25 kilowatt fixed capacity genset. So these are the module of generator, the power of generator, which you can add as per your choice. But if a user not satisfied with this kind of component, want to check another generator, so they can go through the complete catalog. And in this complete catalog, user can find out the different types of components, basically a generator area. So the name of the component they can find out in this area, even the library details, even the manufacturer's details, the capacity of the generator, and which kind of fuel basically they are consuming if they are going to use different types of generator. Okay. So different types of fuels also available, different types onto the best of their generator. Okay. So these things you can also consider here. So for now, I'm going to select only auto size genset. Why? Because it will be adjust their size accordingly the data which I have provided in this load profile. Okay. So now add generator option. So from here, the things is beginning here. What is the data basically you feed for your component? In the party area, user can find out the information of the component basically which they are going to add in this area. So we have added a generator. So these are the property of this generator. The main thing is here: initial capital cost, replacement cost, operation and maintenance cost, and the fuel cost. What is the data you are going to feed here? Accordingly, it calculate for your next 25 years. Okay. So for right now, I'm just leaving it like initial capacity is $500. If you want to change this economy from dollar to rupees, so you can also change in this project area. You can see the economics option. So go to the economy and change currency from US dollar to, suppose we are in Indian zone. So let me find out the rupees. Okay, India. Okay. Now let me come again over the generator. Everything you can find out in the rupees. Okay. So now here we need to provide here the what is the initial capital cost of your generator happen. So I'm not going to fill any kind of data. What is the data you have? You can feed and you can further proceed. Okay. And you can also set here the replacement cost. So if you are going to replace the generator, so suppose if the price of generator is in 2026 is 100 rupees. So it is not possible in the next 5 years. It will be same 100. It may vary 100 to 110, 200, 105, 10, 20, 30 like that. So that kind of things you can consider and you can feed here. Operation and maintenance cost, you can also feed what is the operation and maintenance cost basically required for your generator onto the monthly basis or yearly basis. So accordingly, you can feed the data. Fuel price, what is the fuel price in the market of current now? Accordingly, you can feed and you can take average price of your fuel. What is the scenario happened from last 10 years or 25 years? Accordingly, you can increase for next 25 years. Accordingly, you can provide the data of your fuel price. Then there are some site specific information if you want to enter here. So you can enter like CHP heat recovery ratio like that. Lifetime hours of this generator is 15,000. And any kind of advanced setting if you want to do for this generator. So you can go to the advanced area. And from this place, you can change the fuel type. So currently we are going to use only diesel. Even if you want to use any other fuel, so you can also use. And you can select the fuel curve. So at 0 kilowatt consumption in liter per hour. So there are some information data added here by default for the biogas. So if you want to consider this biogas, you can check out this box. Emission of gases. So carbon monoxide will be suppose produce 16.5 gram per liter of fuel. So accordingly, it will calculate if you want to modify it, and if you know this data is less, so you can change as well, and you can apply if you want. Okay. Now you can see now calculate button has been activated. So click over the calculate key. And here user can find out basically the bar diagram in the downward direction. And here it is different colors is indicating. And in this different color area, you can see the replacement, fuel, saving value, operating cost, and the capital cost. So why this is indicating in the negative sign? Because it is a zero baseline. So this is the operating cost, or basically this is the investing across 25 years. This is for 25-year data. You can see it till 25 years. Okay. So this is for 25 years and till 25, these are the data. So this is the investment. And what is the benefit we have? So this is the positive sign. It means till 25 years, if we are going through the same data, so we can save 500 rupees. Okay. And till now, we don't know what will the cost happen. So we can come here in the simulation details. And the cost happened for this project. Accordingly, what's the data we have fed here? So the cost of this project for 25 years, it is happening 52,884.07. Where levelized cost of energy is 0.09965. Operating cost is 3,994.12. Okay. So we will come again at this place. So let me close it right now. A part of them in this table, you can see where we have only one architecture right now. And in the graphic section, okay, so there are no any kind of graph generated. So let me change the variable and see. Okay, no any kind of graph generator here. So let me come in the summary area and click over this home page or home icon. Okay. So what is the main agenda of this software? So the agenda of this software to reduce our project cost. Okay. So let me come in this component area, and at the place of generator, I would like to add some PV as well. I'm also considering the generator because we have the option of the PV. So let me click over the PV, and just like a generator, you can select different types of PV. So there are flat PV, concentrating PV, and another mode PV. So you can check here in the complete catalog area. So there are the PV types, library details, manufacturer's name, capacity, and all the minor information which you want. So that will be appear in this area. Okay. So I'm going with the generic flat PV and click over add PV here. So these are the properties of this PV. Costing information. So if user want to change the data, so they can change. So by default, 1 kilowatt capacity, if you are going to generate, so the cost of this PV is 2,500. Replacement cost will be also same. Operational and maintenance cost is 10 rupees per year, and the lifetime year of this PV is 25 years. Okay. If you want to add more, so you can go through the more option, and you can add another more kilowatt capacity. So 2 kilowatts, so that will be happen 25,000. Accordingly, data will be changed. Okay. Now come again in this required changes area. So what happened here? So you can see in the required changes, it says us we must need to add a converter, and without adding converter, we cannot calculate. You can see it is in deactivate mode. So go through the add converter. From here, you can select any types of converter. Otherwise, this software automatically contain the system converter. And here again, you need to define the capacity of this converter, capital cost, replacement, or another information which you want to modify in this area. So you can modify inverter output lifetime is 15, efficiency is 95%, rectifier relative capacity is 100%, and efficiency is 95%. Okay. Now let me calculate again. Okay. So I'm not going to discuss these things again. I'm just going to do the table. Yes. Because I'm interested in this, and you will also understand why I'm saying that. In this architecture, earlier which you are absorbing here, earlier there was only one architecture, and it is through this generator. But now in this architecture area, you can find out there are two architecture. One is containing only and only generator. Another one is containing PV as well. And what happened in the cost? So earlier, the cost of your project was 52,884, and now the net present cost happened is 53,023. Here, where I was expected to reduce the cost of our project, it is increasing our cost. Okay, just after increasing the net present cost, obviously the levelized cost of energy will be increased. Operating cost is just minor decrease. Okay. But overall, if you are going to see the net present cost, so this is higher than the first one. So let me come again in the summary area and go to the home icon. And what kind of component more we can add in this area so we can reduce the cost of our project. So we can think in that direction. So for that, we are going to add some storage. Storage, it means it works as a battery, or basically this is the battery. So click over the storage. You can choose your battery type from this area. Otherwise, you can go through the complete catalog and see the battery information and the types of the battery. Let me click and add storage. And we are going to add single quantity. I'm not going to add more quantity. Capital cost, I'm just leaving it 300 rupees. Replacement cost will also same. Operating and maintenance cost. Time of this battery lifetime is 10 years. Throughout kilowatt output is 800. String size is 1 and 12 volt battery capacity. Initial stage of charge, it is 100%, and minimum stage of charge is 40%. Okay. any kind of data which you want to modify from this area, so you can modify. And now let me again calculate it. So you can see here, it is calculating the data. Okay. So you are getting some differences from earlier to now. Where earlier you are getting bar diagram, now you are getting two curves. Why? Because it is creating differences between both of the project. Okay. So from this place, you can see there are two curves. First one is, this is the gray color, which is indicating the base case, and this is the lowest cost system. So this software suggests us to go through this one, which is indicating through this blue color. Okay. And if you are coming in this cost summary area, so the net present cost of the base case is 52,884, and the lowest cost system is only 27,134. You can see directly it becomes half in compared to the base case. Initial capital cost, it is only 1,250, whereas lowest cost system, this is 10,848. Initially, you need to invest more, because why happening this? Because you are going to add not only the generator, and if the fuel which you are consuming for 25 years, so you are not going to use all 25 years of fuel at the same time. Okay. Or even if you are going to consider all the things. So if you are comparing with this winning system architecture, basically it is also called the lowest cost system, and this is your base case. So here we have generator as well. So the same amount of investment we required in the same scenario. Extra things which we need to add here, the PV, battery, and the converter. So it also we require some amount to add this component. So that is the main reason, increasing of the cost initially. But overall, if you are going to see for 25 years, so you are going to save half of the amount which you are going to invest through this only generator. Once your cost of your project will be reduced, then obviously you can serve your product in the market at the lowest price, and you can catch more customer. So you can see the levelized cost of energy here. It is 0.996, and the lowest cost system, it is 0.511. Okay, so this is nearby 1 rupees, and this is 50 paisa only. So there are very huge differences between this base case and the lowest cost system. Now come here in the table area. So in this table area, now you can find out there are different types of architecture. Earlier you are getting only two. So here the combination you can get. So this is the specialty of this software, that it provides you different types of architecture and the combination through the different components. So if you are seeing in the first one option, so there are the combination of all those components which we have considered to develop our microgrid. In the second one, it is not adding the PV, and it is only considering generator, battery, and converter. So generator will also charge the battery, and you can utilize this storage of the battery for your load flow, or for your load. Yeah. Then another combination, it is not considering generator, and only it is going through the renewable energy sources. Then we have only through the generator, and one more section which already we have discussed both of them. Now come at the costing details. So from here you can also understand different architecture having different types of costing. So if you are going through this one, so the cost will be happen 27,134. And if you are not considering the PV, and you are also using battery to serve the load to your consumer, so the cost is also increasing. It is 39,000. And if you are considering this PV, it means if and removing this generator, so the cost will be increased also. And it is completely renewable energy resources, but the cost of this project has been increased. Similarly, you can check for another more one. Now let me come again at the home page. And if you remember, I told you that if you want to use any kind of component from this area, which are mentioned in this component section. But this software suggests or help user to reduce or eliminate those components which are not reliable for your project, and it help you to eliminate those components and reduce the cost of your project. So, for example, I'm going to add a wind turbine. So let me click wind turbine. And one more thing you can find out here, you will get at this time when we are adding the wind generator here. So wind generator, so let me select only 1 kilowatt capacity wind generator. Even you can go through the complete catalog and you can see the type of wind generator as well. And click here, add wind turbine. Okay. So if you remember, initially we have downloaded some resources for different, there are different options for the solar, PV, and solar temperature and the wind as well. So we have downloaded only for the solar data. But for the wind data, we did not download the wind data. So what happened here? So if you are not downloaded that kind of data, so it is not big deal. You are getting the information in this required changes area, and from this place you can download as well. So let me click here. Before that, you can see here the information about your wind turbine capacity, cost of your wind turbine. So everything is mentioned here. If you want to do any kind of modification, so you can modify, otherwise you can leave it. So let me come here, add a wind resources. Okay. So if you have the data for each month, so you can enter manually. You can download from the internet. If you have your data, so you can import as well from your system. Okay. So now I'm going to download the data because I am considering all those persons who have no any kind of data and they have no any kind of awareness about this kind of thing. So I'm suggesting you can download from here directly. So let me click on the download from the internet. Okay. The resource were downloaded successfully. And here you can assume the data of your each month from January to December. What is the average speed of your wind is 4.750 meter per second. In February, 5.090. Similarly, you can see for each month. Even you can find out here the bar diagram of your wind generator. Variation with height, advanced parameters. So there are different sections you can see in this area. Okay. Now, let me calculate it again. So it may take some time, so please wait. Because Homer Pro used the Homer Optimizer property algorithm to search for the lowest net present cost system for your load and location. So this may take a few minutes as Homer searches thousands of possibilities. In this calculating area, you can see here the blue line traces. So the blue line traces the net present cost as Homer searches for an optimum. So once it will finish, you can see the results and the table in front of you. So please wait. So here you can see, let me come in the summary file first of all. So in the summary area, you can see here the same graphic sections available with the same data. The main thing which I would like to show here and what was the purpose to add our wind generator. In this winning system architecture, you are not able to find this wind turbine. Okay. And this software suggests us to go through this kind of winning system architecture. You do not need to add this wind turbine. Okay. If you are going to add your wind turbine, so obviously the cost of your project will increase. And you can check in this table area. So here is the combination of all kind of components. So if you are going through the wind turbine, so the cost of your project will be increase more 5,000 nearby. Okay. And only one, this one is the fewest, this is the best project for us, which we consider only the 27,134 rupees. Okay. So from here you can see the different types of architecture, and if you want to export the data, so you can export the data as well using option export. And if you're going through the overall option, so this is the category based. If you're going through the overall option, so you can find out n number of results, and there are very, very minute changes comes at different sections, and you can consider these things if you want to check one by one. So there are n number of results you can find out in this area. Now let me show you the summary details. So come here in the summary details. Sorry, simulation details. Okay. Let me maximize it. I'll click on them and it will maximize. So this is for 25 years, the project. And the total net present cost is 27,133.65. Levelized cost of energy 0.05113. And operating cost is 259.79. Which kind of component system architecture contains? So these are the information. And now one by one, you will get the information of each and every component. Where you are going to invest more amount, where you are going to invest less, how much amount you are going to save with this project. So that are the things you can find out in this area. So first one is the cost summary, net project by component. So this is your AutoSAT genset, it means generator. So the total cost happened, it is 10,000. Okay. This is for your battery, and it is happening 10,320, where it was in the generator, it was 10,106. About the PV, it is 6,325, and system converter, you are going to 3,081.40. Okay. Similarly, you can change annual data by cost type. Now come here about each and every component, and this is the combined data. What is the capital cost, replacement cost, operational maintenance, fuel, everything are considered in this genset. Similarly for the battery, similarly for the PV and the converter. Now come here, it is bifurcate everything here. If you are going through the generator, so the capital cost of the generator is 1,250. Okay. Replacement cost, it is happening, it is indicating 1,067.95. Operational maintenance cost 1,394. Fuel consumption total is 1,574.82. And you are going to save 180.67. So if you are going to reduce this amount, so total cost happened 10,106.33. Similarly for your battery and other components, so these are the capital cost, replacement cost, operational maintenance, fuel cost, total values you can save here through which option, through your generator, through your battery, and through your converter. And overall total cost for each and every component, and final information you can find out in this area. Okay. Now come here the cash flow. So again, you have already seen this graph earlier when we are calculating only for the generator. So the color indicating for different colors having different options like replacement, fuel, saving value, operating cost, capital cost. And why it is in negative direction? Because it is invested amount, and only this is the positive sign, which is showing the saving amount. So this amount you are going to save across 25 years. Now come here the compare economics. So in the base case, this is considering only generator. Even you can change the base case. You can change and consider those base case in which there are wind generator as well. Okay. So here why this is happening, because till 25 years, 24/7, we are going to use generator, and we are running generator again and again. So not again and again, we can say only. It is continuously run for 25 years. And due to that, the consumption of fuel is high. That is the main reason the cost of this project has been increased. Where in the proposed system, it is containing different kinds of architecture where it is also using generator, but it is also using PV and the battery as well. So if you are going to use PV battery at the same time, so we are not only going to use PV for the production of electricity, even we are storing the electricity or power in the battery, and we are going to use during the evening time when sunlight is not available and our PV is not working. Even after, if battery is discharged, then we are going to use this generator. Okay. So this is the present worth like in the value, annual worth. So there are some information. Now come here for the electrical. So this is very interesting data here. So you can see across 12 months production of electricity through the PV and through the generator. So in this case, the production of electricity happened through the PV is 75.2%. In some case, it is happening 94%, 95% as well. So you can assume how much amount you can save if this kind of thing happen to save or generate the electricity through the PV. Through generator, it is 1304 kilowatt hour per year, which is 24.8%, and total production of electricity is 5,265 kilowatt hour per year. Okay. And this is the production of electricity onto the monthly basis through the PV and through generator. And you can see this is the orange color indicating through the PV and green is indicating for the generator. Now come here in this fuel summary area. So this is the consumption of fuel details from January to December, and the maximum fuel consumption in which month that you can analyze from this area. And this is the data liter per hour versus month. And this is the yearly data of fuel consumption. And the scale is mentioned here. The maximum fuel consumption is 0.70 liter per hour. And whenever we are moving the cursor, so you can find out the consumption of fuel at the particular date, time, month, and where you can find out the zero. So it means that at this time we are going to use the battery as energy, solar energy, so that kind of things it is happening. And total fuel consumed is 509 liter, and average fuel per day if you're counting, so it is 1.39 liter per day, and hourly basis it is 0.0581 liter per hour. Similarly, about your this is complete information about your generator. So the maximum capacity of generator is 2.5 kilowatt, and electric production is 1304 kilowatt per year. So these are some information about your generator, where you can find out hour of operations, number of stats, and many more other information about your generator. Then about your renewable penetration. So these are some data for the renewable penetration. Similarly, for your battery quantity, string size, bus voltage. Now for your PV, so the rated capacity of PV is 2.41, mean output, maximum output, total production through the PV is 3961 kilowatt hour per year. Then the system converter. So how system converter will work. So all the information about the inverter, rectifier, so hour of operation of inverter, energy output, energy input, and total losses of energy through inverter, through rectifier, and finally emission of gases. So which kind of gas is going to emit through this project, so that will be appear in this section as well. So if you are okay with this project, so you can further proceed to create proposal. One more thing I would like to show here. So I tell you that you can change your base case. So simply click over the change base case option, and you can select anyone from here as a base case. So let me select this one and press OK. Okay, now just wait. So in this section, it hasn't changed. Okay, yeah. Also, you can find out in this graphic area, and it will also indicating the cost summary. So if someone giving you the task, or if someone giving you the project to create this kind of project considering this kind of component, so you can use this software, you can develop both of the project at the same time, and you can compare between both of them, and you can submit the file to your customer or any other person who are asking about them. So they can better understand what is happening through this one and what is happening through the winning system architecture and the base case architecture. Again, come in the simulation details. And suppose if you are okay with that, so you can further proceed to create proposal. Here you can define your client proposal or engineering details, client name, client titles, or the information basically which they are asking here. The company information you can mention in this area. Then you can choose the title in your report, which kind of title you would like to add in your report. So you can add from here. And finally, you can select the report type in the letter form, legal or info site, and click open report. So it will take some time to complete the action. Okay. So this is your report, where you can find out all the information which is mandatory for your client. So at this time, your client can see both of the project, not only the proposed system, even they can also see the current system between the system in which they want to add wind generator. So you can told the customer or the client, if you're going through this, then what is happening if you're going through the proposed system, so what will be the cost happen. So that kind of information. Then here you can also see the current flow. It means the basically the base case and lowest cost system, both of the graph here. Even production of electricity through the PV and through the generator, everything you can see in this area. Not only the production through the PV and generator, even you can find out the information about each and every component which you have mentioned in your microgrid design. Okay. So this is your complete information about this software. Part of them, there are different types of plotter as well, like time series plotter. Here you can see. Let me show you. So this is the hourly graph we can see here for January 1st to December 31. And there are different types of colors. And what is the indicating that? So we can see the legend area. Similarly, you can change the tab from hourly to monthly, profile, DMAP, histogram, and other graphic section as well. You can change variable as well, and accordingly you will get the graph over your screen as well. Okay. Now let me show you the examples which are existing in the software. Before going to the example, design page already know that. Now let me show you the library. So in this library, user can find out all those components which are available in this component area. And whenever you are going to click over this triangle, so all the specified things which are under this controller, you can find out in this area, like Homer cycle charging, load flowing, Homer Pro, MATLAB link. So all the things you can see in this area. Similarly, for the generators, different types of generators, you can see customs for the renewable power source, hydrokinetic, hydroelectric. So all the things in this library area you can see. So let me come over the example section. So click over the file tab and go through the open sample. So these are the examples existing in this software. You can open any examples from here and you can do any kind of things as per your choice. Okay.